We have two problems with our political commitment. If I might say, how in the West we are going to talk about Palestine. And by the way, let me start with this. We are on the side of the oppressed, and one of the main problems that we have wherever we are in the Muslim majority countries or in the West is to focus on one and to forget others. So the starting point is to be heard about Palestine, we should be heard about other struggles and resistance. And not only Muslims, be on the side of the oppressed. We don't hear Muslims talking about Tibet. We don't hear Muslims talking even about what is happening in Africa. We don't talk enough about people who are treated in a way which is the new slavery of our time. So we only come about Palestine, or we only come about Islam and Muslims. I'm sorry, this is selective resistance, and by itself there is a problem. In itself there is a problem. It means there is something wrong in your mind, in the way you deal with humanity. Being on the side of the oppressed is to hear you in other things, in other situations. Where the Muslims, what happened in Rwanda, we didn't speak, while many people, Muslims and non-Muslims, were on the side of the oppressed. And Muslims opened their mosques to help the people to be protected. But in fact, we didn't talk because the victims were not Muslims. And I think that we can't carry on like this. And then we are selective in the way we deal with the Rohingyas, for example, that are now oppressed. We're considered as the people who are the more oppressed in the world. And to tell you the truth here about Burma, many people who are oppressed in Burma, the way they are treated in the neighbor country, it's unacceptable by Muslims. We are media resistant. But we are not, having this consciousness. And this is where ethics, it's important. The ethical people are the people who are vocal when silence is the rule. Not when the media are talking about this. Because when the media are talking about this emotional resistance. When the media are silent and the world is silent, this is intellectual and practical political resistance. Don't wait for the people to be killed just to remind the people that there is, killing and people being. So this is, now just one point, because I took too much time on this one, but we also have to take into account in our discourse the power game. And the rules, we have to be wise. And you have to prioritize in the way you talk. Sometimes when we are emotional, we start with the end, we start with, no, you know why today there is this very deep and very, very big wave of Islamophobia and targeting the Muslims for who they are. Because the more we have been asked for years, be integrated in the West, and the more we are integrated, the more dangerous we are. Because you know how to talk. You get the rules. And the politicians, they know that. At the end, democracy is about opinions and numbers. And this is why everywhere in the West, the feeling, the emotional support towards Palestinians is changing towards more support from the people. So the elite and some of the lobbies, they are changing this by making us a threat. But we should not come as Muslims. We should come as citizens with others. And this is where we have, I'm sorry, the Palestinian issues is not a Muslim business. It should never be this. First, because they are Christians. And some of them paid a very high price, and we have to respect this. And people who have no religions, you also have to celebrate this with them. We also have to be on their side. It's not a Muslim business. And by the way, any discussion about repression and ethical terms should never be only from the victims. Racism against the black people is not a black business. It's not. And we Muslims, we make it a Muslim business. Islamophobia, it's Muslim. No, I'm sorry, it's not. We have to widen the scope on ethical terms. This is where principles are important, and this is where our struggle, it's important.
نم في سلام نومة الأبطال واترك حماسة ترد كالزلزال بطلا حييت برغم ألوان الأذى أفلا